Yeah, ma'am, that's called a fantasy novel writing session. In no universe will you ever get my name. You understand? What's your name?
I'm not going to give you that.
So you're going to persist in not identifying yourself as a public employee?
That is my preference.
No, stop.
Okay, no, then thank you. You've done your job. Thank
Oh.
you. And then I want somebody just to tell me
He's
that it's
allowed to be
okay for
here.
him.
Are you filming?
Yes.
So we don't allow filming in our office.
It's a public office.
Public space.
But he can't record people with children. He can't record them without their
Where
permission.
does it say that?
I was told that he can record us without the
Show me the RCW where it says that.
Gotcha. You want to call the marshals?
I mean, I don't want to. I can.
Probably better to do that.
No.
I'm going to talk as I want to. That's how it works.
Marshal, could you please get him out of here? You cannot record us, sir.
100% I
I
can.
need you to back up and wait then. Because I don't want to be recording.
Constitution-free zone. That's kind of weird. Is this the North Korean consulate? Ma'am, you need to stop, okay? You need to behave.
Let me go ahead and explain something to you. I have other people
No,
who do not have
you need to stop.
record.
Hey everyone, I am free. It is December 11th, 2024. I'm in the city of Seattle, here in King County, in the Communist Empire of Washington State. Heading on over to the King County Courthouse. You can see it right there, that big building. This is the administrative building, and you can see a big bridge up there that crosses over all of these buildings. That is a correctional center right there. Also has the courts in it. So I'm heading over to the King County Courthouse because I got some responsive records regarding the King County Malang Regional Justice Center and my terrible encounter with Marshal Gozelski here.
Are you recording this?
Yes, absolutely.
That is not legal unless I give you my permission in writing.
Yeah, actually, I am here working on the stories.
I think that's great what you guys do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
I do.
Yeah, my channel's Inland Auditing Media. Inland Auditing Media. I am free.
Okay, well, this is the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, it's a public office.
Okay, not for what you're doing, it's not.
Who's this guy watching recording us?
No.
Inside the public spaces, he's open to filming.
And you're filming without her permission, then I'm asking you to leave.
Are you ordering me to leave?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're gonna leave.
And if I don't, I'll get arrested?
Yeah.
And where's the front office?
Sir, would you please leave?
I need the front. Where's the front office at?
Would you please leave?
Well, I don't give you permission to record us.
Well, that's awkward because one doesn't need such a thing.
Yes, they do. I work for the prosecutor's office. It's a two-consent state. You may not.
When there's an expectation of privacy
I have an expectation of privacy right this moment.
in public.
Should I go get the security officer and you can talk to him?
So Sergeant, right over there. This is settled at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. So judges. So you're saying a federal judge doesn't matter?
You've asked, I've answered.
You're getting way too big for your britches here, Gozelski. And in these documents, which is not all of them, I got quite a hoard. It included the audio interviews for the internal investigation of Marshal Gozelski, where I laid out a very good argument that Marshal Gozelski violated a litany of policies for conduct with the King County Sheriff's Department as a marshal, and that he had committed a crime in committing official misconduct by violating my liberties to be present. Now, as a part of all this, the interview, the audio tapes, which I'm going to share a part of here in this story, quite a bit of it actually, Marshal Gozelski admits that he unlawfully trespassed me. Admits that. And admits that I could record there, yet he did what he did anyways. In these documents right here, the Internal Investigations Unit for the King County Sheriff's Department makes the claim that I was there just to stir up trouble, and that Marshal Gozelski did nothing wrong. His conduct was not abusive. Nothing about his behavior was abusive, untoward, unprofessional, etc.
Sometimes grown-ups need to lie. It's hard to explain.
So, let's take a look at Captain Shane Watkins' lies, innuendo, and blatant manipulation of facts to suit his narrative that it was just a training issue with Marshal Gozelski and that I was the bad guy showing up to cause problems. You cannot make this stuff up, people. Law enforcement officers like Captain Shane Watkins are a detriment to law enforcement, civil society, and are a stain on the actual decent, hard-working law enforcement officers out there. Deputy Jimmy Rogan of the Clark County Sheriff's Department. Federal Protective Services officers Michael and Carlos serving in King County, Deputy Chief McKnight of Chehalis, Washington, Under Sheriff Ellis of Spokane County, Sergeant Skelton of the Renton Police Department, Sergeant Nichols of the Clark County Sheriff's Department, Deputy Miller of the Kitsap County Sheriff's Department, Chief Easterbrook of the Covington Police Department, Sergeant Jones of the Moses Lake Police Department, Officer Girkman of the Lacey Police Department, Deputy Crosscree of the Benton County Sheriff's Department, and Sergeant Maxwell of the Mount Vernon Police Department. Now, let's see what shameful Watkins has to say about my fellow law enforcement officers serving us well out there, conducting lawful press business. Quote, during the timeline of this investigation, February of 2024, the complainant returned to MRJC for another video for his channel. During this visit, he interviewed Sergeant Hooper.
Hi, Sergeant Hooper.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Name's Steve. I just wanted to, since you're here, and I just talked to Marshall soon, I know that there is an IIU that is being done regarding Marshal Gozelski right now. Yep. But I just wanted to address the issue. I know that's like a thing as to whether or not King County is going to do something regarding his behavior or whatever. That's kind of a King County thing.
Good.
So I just want to address the issue and want to make sure that as I'm coming into the public's building, the people's building, that I'm good to go petitioning, have my right of press intact, right of free speech, all that's good to go, because I want to go back and petition my government seeking those grievances at the prosecutor's office. And what I don't want to have happen is Marshal Gozelski goes SWAT mode on me and try to go crazy.
So the situation, you're free to do whatever you want to do, you know, is within the legalities, you know, of the law.
Yeah.
So have at it, and I'm not going to stop you, or none of my folks are going to intervene unless somebody asks for help, and then we'll take that individually, case by case, see what's happening, and make decisions. But my folks, obviously, you know, I watched your videos, and so my folks generally know, you know, what's going on.
I agree. Marshall Sand and Marshall Wilbur.
George was led down a road by a prosecutor thinking that they knew what they were talking about. George was led down a road by a prosecutor thinking that they knew what they were talking about.
Oh.
And so he just reacted in a way that he felt was reasonable to what he was being asked to do.
You know what? I appreciate you letting me know that, because actually that matters a lot, right? I mean, if he's been led down that road
in the
by
state of Washington, police don't, you know, charge people. Prosecutors do.
Correct.
We take people to the court by taking them into custody or whatever we have to do, but we don't charge people. So when a prosecutor tells us this is happening, this is what the rules are, this is what the laws are, and we don't have the practical experience, because he's from a different state and transferred here from Alaska.
Okay.
And so maybe the rules were, you know, whatever they were in Alaska.
Up there.
When you come here, you're supposed to know the Washington laws, but also you listen to the prosecutor. When someone in the prosecutor's office tells you this is what's happening and this is the law, and I want you to do this thing, officer, you know, sometimes we tend to listen more than we should.
Returned to the Victims Advocate Unit lobby, where he made multiple attempts to disrupt the workflow by knocking on windows, which they chose to not respond.
Excuse me, can I get some assistance, please? Hello? Hello? I was wondering if I could get some help, please? Good afternoon. I need some help, please. Wow. Just refusing to help. This is crazy. Wow. Well, this is part and parcel of the tips and leads that I got, everyone. Part of what I got was that public records requests were difficult here, but as you can see, there is an employee back at this window here to the left absolutely refusing to provide assistance to the public. They've blocked off this window with paper or whatever, which, you know, again, that's totally up to the elected prosecutor to decide to manage the office in that way. But I'm actually trying to deliver a picture of the individual from March 13th of last year that doxed that family after they had just lost a child. And I think what this is about at this point is they're not wanting to be held to account for a horrible, horrible malady that needs to be remedied. And in this case, the person that you can go to, your elected official, the prosecutor, Lisa Mannion, she just doesn't care. She absolutely, I think implicitly, agrees with the actions taken by that currently unidentified employee. And in that vein, I think it's pretty shocking that an elected official, an elected prosecutor, would in fact support that kind of horrible behavior, giving out a phone number while on the phone discussing those issues. That's really shocking, and it's unbelievable that an elected prosecutor would do that. So I think that's really demonstrating here at Lisa Mannion's office that she is not going to interact with the public or anything along those lines. We'll see if maybe there's something that can be done here in the next minute or two. Other than that, we'll have to kind of... Hello. Hey, deputy.
Yes.
Is there any way you could ask a manager back there? I've got some business with the prosecutor's office. I just need to drop off some information, and I also need to try to get an employee's name.
Sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't go back. I don't think they're inviting me back there, but I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, deputy. Are you a deputy or a court marshal?
I'm a marshal.
Marshal, great. Do you know if somebody is going to come out?
I passed the word,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
just...
they're separate from us.
Yeah, I totally understand, man.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
If you got an energy drink, I'm kind of thirsty.
Sorry, okay, we got free water fountain.
Well, fair enough.
All
You
right.
take care.
Take it easy.
Thanks. Hello, sir. Could I get some help, please? Any help I could get? This is pretty shocking behavior, everyone. I think I'm going to reach out to some of the other candidates that have run before.
Stevenson then found Marshal Gozelski working his screening post, where he again disrupts the workflow, antagonizing Gozelski, and solicited a reaction by telling him his conduct was criminal and that he was violating several GOMs, committed a gross misdemeanor, a felony, and may lose his job.
Hey, Marshal Gozelski, you got any comment about what happened on the 18th of January?
I'm not saying anything to you.
Got nothing to say?
Not to you.
Do you feel any remorse for what you did, about your behavior, how you treated a member of the public and or a journalist? Any remorse for your behavior?
You aren't a journalist.
Really, I'm not. Well, I'll tell you what, statute 768010, as well as Green versus Pierce County 2021, absolutely defines me as a journalist in Washington State. So I am a journalist in Washington State, Court Marshal Gozelski. Are you concerned at all that in light of your felony that you committed, the gross misdemeanor you committed, and several general orders that you violated, that you're going to possibly lose your job? Any comment, Court Marshal Gozelski? I think it'd do good for transparency if you just came out and ended up just having a brief interview with me. Your behavior was atrocious and it was criminal. Court Marshal Gozelski, any comment about your criminal behavior? Any comment you have for the King County citizens?
You're down. I'm just trying to knock myself up here. No, don't want to.
He additionally solicits negative hate emails from his viewers with caption comment requests and calls out Gozelski's behavior as criminal and tortious. The impact of McStevens.
He has no comment about committing a felony, a gross misdemeanor against the press here at the courthouse on the 18th of January.
Repeated visits to the MRJC with the intent to solicit reactions for his viewers, and the stress impact it has had on many that work there has caused the PAO to reevaluate their workspace in clearly defined public and limited access areas. Watch the rest of this story and let's see if there is any merit to Captain Shameful Watkins' assessment.
What's of note out of these records that I've got here is that Marshal San, right here, he admits in his statement that things got personal.
What you are seeing here is the witness statement from Marshal Sokasan, a good marshal, who reported accurately what happened. Here was his take from the interaction between myself and Marshal George the Unhinged Lunatic Gozelski on January 18th, 2024. Quote, after some back and forth debate about S. McStevens' right to video and audio record, all three of us stepped outside of the prosecutor's office to continue the interaction.
Then I'm asking you to leave.
Are you ordering me to leave?
Yeah, I'm telling you you're going to leave.
And if I don't, I'll get arrested?
Yeah.
Okay.
We ended up in the hallway just outside of 2A. During that interaction, Marshal Gozelski started raising his voice and, in my opinion, made it personal.
As long as you're not interrupting,
I wasn't interrupting.
You're not filming people.
Oh, so you're saying I can't angle my camera that way? And if I do, I'll be arrested?
You're not going to be arrested. So you're not going to be arrested because you have the right to film in the public area.
Hold on a minute.
So,
what's going on here?
But the thing is, that's their office. There's a lot of private stuff going on.
Gotcha. So I can record from here that direction.
You can welcome, and
hold on a minute. So the marshal's saying I cannot record that direction. You're saying I can from here.
Not that direction.
Okay, so I have to turn my camera on.
So what are you trying to accomplish, sir?
I'm actually working on a story.
Okay.
I'm a journalist.
Okay.
One of the reasons I came here is because this summer past, I had an issue that a court martial secured, which was a prosecutor's assistant behaving very terribly. She
Okay.
doxed a victim on recording in a public space.
We are here because someone's baby died.
So I'm trying to seek redress of grievances with the prosecutor's office for that terrible behavior back then. And while I'm in there, that lady right there is telling me that I can't record my petitioning process. Ninth Circuit case law, Fordyce versus City of Seattle, as well as Washington state statutes say it's only a two-person party consent state if you're in a place where you have an expectation of privacy. You do not have an expectation of privacy in a public space. That is a public space. That is a public official who has been elected by the people of King County. I absolutely, 100% can record video and audio. You guys, everything those private
I don't
citizens
have a
are
problem
saying,
with you recording.
everything those private citizens are saying, the things through that window, if they don't like it, they can put up shades or something else. But you guys absolutely don't have a lawful authority to impede my ability as press to record video and audio.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is there's a bright red line, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So, are you telling me I cannot aim my camera in that direction? Is that what you're saying, Deputy?
I'm saying I'd rather you not to because they feel uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah.
They have victims coming in and out of here. They don't want to be.
So there's victims advocate. It's also a victims advocate office.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, you're saying, you're asking, you, Marshal, what is it, Gozelski?
Count spelling, Gozelski.
Okay, it's just part of your badge is covering, or your lanyard. Gozelski, okay. So, what Marshal Gozelski is saying is, I absolutely can't be in there recording, and I can't even aim my camera in that direction. You're saying the opposite, so who's right?
No, you're mincing words. That's not what he's saying.
Okay, so can I aim my camera in that direction and gather content from my news story?
No, you cannot.
Not with the victims talking there because they need privacy as well.
Gotcha.
As a victim.
So you're saying I cannot do that. So if I aim that over that direction, that's a crime.
Asked and answered, sir. How many
What's
times?
the crime?
How many times are you going to ask it?
What's the crime?
How many times are you going to ask it?
How
many times are you going to ask it? I
Tell me what the statute
asked
is.
and answered.
What's
no.
the RCW? It's because you're making it up.
No, I'm not making anything up.
Look, this is settled in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Yeah.
So judges. So you're saying a federal judge doesn't matter?
You've asked, I've answered.
You're getting way too big for your britches here, Gozelski.
This is a public building, yes. If you have business here, go about your business. You can't go in here and disrupt business.
I do this press. I'm not in there now.
Okay, well then go leave. Leave the area.
Are you telling me I need to leave from this area?
You can sit right in that chair right there to film all you want.
So you're saying I need to leave this area?
Right here, yeah.
Okay, am I being trespassed from right here?
No, I'm asking you to leave and go sit in the chair.
Asking or ordering?
Do you need a hearing aid?
No. There's a difference
How many
between
times? I just told you I'm asking you to leave.
Well, if you're asking me, you're not ordering me to leave, I'm going to politely decline your request. If it's not a request and you're issuing me a lawful order to leave this area...
Did you have a tough childhood growing up or something? Why are you acting like this?
You're being really unprofessional right now, Gozelski. You don't care. You don't care that you're being unprofessional. You know, the oath that you take is for everyone. It's not just for them in there. It's for me. It's for your coworker.
Do you have business in here?
I do.
And what is your business?
Petitioning my elected official to seek redress.
You do that through the courts, not through the main entrance in the prosecutor's office.
Is there somebody that can help you with that?
That's what I'm trying to find out, Deputy.
Okay.
So Gozelski, if you calm down, okay, you just chill out, relax, okay? You're getting really worked up here for no good reason.
After witnessing Marshal Gozelski's demeanor, I had to find a way to interrupt their interaction. As this was happening, another call for service came from EDC Dispatch. I asked Marshal Gozelski to take the call, and I would continue talking with S. McSteven. End quote. Just remember this damning statement from another law enforcement agent as we go through the actual interview of the unhinged lunatic, Marshal George Gozelski.
With Marshal Gozelski. So if Marshal Gozelski took things to a personal level, that would mean that he took them outside of a professional one. And in so doing, committed policy violations for his conduct. So that's why I'm going in here to call them out on this, because this is just straight up, the police get to do whatever they want. There are no standards for them unless the issue is so egregious, so bad, that they can't avoid it in the press. Hey, you guys know where the sheriff's department is?
Yeah, you just go straight ahead where the screeners are, take a right. It's gonna be on the right hand side.
Thanks.
Hello? You cannot record us, sir.
100% I
I
can.
need you to back up and wait then, because I don't want to be recording, so you don't have my permission.
That's just tough.
Please wait and back up.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get assistance. You need to stop, man. I need to speak to somebody about a complaint.
What's going on?
I've got some paperwork here regarding an IIU. I just need to discuss with preferably Captain Dre, if he's available.
With who?
Captain Dre, D-R-E-Y.
I'm gonna come outside.
Sure. Ma'am, you need to stop, okay? You need to behave.
Let me go ahead and explain something to you. I have other people
no,
who do not have
you need to stop.
You need to stop and
You
go
need
with
to,
him.
you need to
Please
behave.
step out. Sir,
You need to behave.
Sir, let's go.
No, hold on.
We're fine.
No, I can be here.
She's working.
Sir,
I get it. Let's
can
have
you have him come out here with his little recording?
let's have the marshal come in
He
here.
doesn't have the permission of these other people to be recorded. So please have him come out here. And then Chris will help him out there.
No, I'm going to wait for him.
Well, I'm gonna take you to where we can help you.
I will, but this has got to be resolved first. Her behavior is unbelievable.
The sheriff's office is right
That's
over
fine.
there.
I'll be heading over there in a minute, but her behavior needs to be addressed first.
What needs to be addressed?
Your behavior.
My behavior, sir, is that you do not have my permission to record.
Sometimes we don't get what we want.
Stand by, sir. No.
I'm going to talk as I want to. That's how it works.
Marshal, could you please get him out of here?
I have one coming out. The kids are coming out.
He's recording and he does not have the permission to record the people. He won't walk out here so he can be helped. No, he can't record these
the
people.
general
He can't record these
sheriff's
people. He can
office.
record us.
Yeah, that's fine.
other side.
Thank you.
That's fine.
We just
I appreciate that, but this has got to get resolved first. Sounds like someone's on the way down, so.
Marshal is going to walk you out.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it turns out. Good.
655 right.
Oh, she's working on it right now. Okay. But it was January of...
So there's a gentleman recording. I've asked him to stop. He's also recording people in the lobby. He does not have the permission. I know he record me. I know you record me. You do not have my permission to record.
Sometimes we don't get what we
stand
want.
by, sir. He can't record them. I asked him to step out. Chris was going to take him out to help. He won't go. But he can't record people with children. He can't record them without their permission. I was told that he can record us without the people.
Show me the RCW where it says that.
I don't know. Show me where it says he can sit here and record us. And them. And kids. And kids. There's kids out there.
You're dividing. No, stop.
Okay, no, then thank you. You've done your job. Thank
Whoa.
you. And then I want somebody to tell me
He's
that it's
allowed to be
okay for
here.
him. Sir,
First Amendment right.
to record people without their permission?
I'm telling you, you don't
That's
need
fine.
permission.
Okay, well then,
He's in
fine,
a
whatever.
public
I know
space.
that we were told he could
He's
record
in a
us.
public space.
I was told they could record us. I was not told that
Who
they could
told you
record
that?
other people. My manager.
Look at your manager.
She's not even here. But
Why?
previously, all of our managers said they could record us, but that they cannot record other people without their permission.
Look.
You're telling me one thing, somebody else told me something else. All I care about is that people aren't getting put on camera that don't want to. You have a child out there.
Doesn't matter if you have a
I don't
child.
care about you
You
too.
have
This
a
is
kid.
thank
This
you.
is all
You did your
over
job
the
and I
place.
thank you. I was doing mine on what I was told. That's all.
I don't know.
See you later. Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, you need to check your behavior. You understand me? Oh, I will. Any way I want.
Have a lovely day.
You need to stop being disorderly.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
And actually, before I'm done, what is your name? I need your name so I can file a complaint.
I'll give you the paper in just a moment.
So I got January 12th of yours to sign. So here's her application. Fill this out.
I just need your name for the complaint. You're not going to provide your name? You're not going to identify as a public employee?
County Sheriff employee. You said you're going to talk to her.
All right, we'll do it. Hey, sorry I had to deal with that, Marshal. I appreciate you standing up for my liberties. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Where's the other lady, the black lady, African American? She's dark. Where's she? It's me on the back.
Wow. Wow, that lady was crazy. Absolutely bananas. Hello.
Hi.
I need to go over an IIU issue with somebody in here. I got a response and I need some assistance with the documents the Sheriff's Department sent me.
Okay, one moment.
Sure. Hey, Marshall. Do you happen to know that lady's name? Because I really want. Do you happen to know that employee's name? Because I want to file a complaint against her. Her abusive attacks against you and me are outrageous. You don't know her name?
My job. I'll go get it for you. Hang on.
Okay, thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
There's no one here right now from IIU, but I can take the documents and scan them to their email.
Oh, no. These are documents that were sent to me regarding an IIU complaint. But there's some really confounding things. I want to see if I can talk to someone in administration about it. Doesn't necessarily have to be IIU.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, this is the main headquarters for the Sheriff's Department. So.
Okay. But you don't feel comfortable just giving me the documents to give?
Well, no, because I want to ask some questions and get some answers. So that's not going to do anything.
What's your name?
Steve.
Steve?
Yep.
Okay, let me see what I can.
All right, thanks.
Give me a few minutes. I gotta go get it. I'll be back.
She's not providing it?
I'll get it for you in a minute.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you, Marshall. Yep, it looks like I called it correctly. That lady is not providing it because she knows he's going to give that name to me. She's a public employee. She's making it more difficult intentionally for me to file a complaint against her. And that Marshall is being a fantastic public employee. That is probably the best Marshal I have run across yet to date with the King County Sheriff's Department.
Are you Steve?
I am.
Hi. So what can I help you with, sir?
Well, this got some questions.
I'm Josh Scott. I'm a sergeant with the King County Sheriff's Office.
That'll work just fine. So I'm looking to get some clarification on something because I filed a complaint against a marshal earlier this year after a really bad encounter with him at the Malang Regional Justice Center.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sense of some of the documents
here. Do you
here.
have an open IIU case?
It's closed.
It's closed, all right.
Correct. And I'm trying to get some understanding around the documents that were provided to me.
Okay.
So can I do that with you, or?
I won't have the information to be able to help you. Do you know who the IIU investigator was, or?
Well, partially. Is it like a desk or something? Because I need to set this down so I can get these out and kind of go through them a little bit.
We'll just step inside here.
Sure. Thanks.
You can sit down and do whatever you need to, sir.
Thanks. So, what I.A.M. So they said, ultimately that the internal investigation was found that there was insufficient evidence.
Okay.
What I'm trying to make sense of is one of the marshals, Sokasan, really great marshal, ended up admitting in his statement here that the marshal, Gozelski, made it personal, and that because of Gozelski's demeanor, he had to interrupt after he unlawfully trespassed me. Now, one may question, well, how do you know it was unlawful? He literally said those words in the IIU investigation.
All right, let's dive into how profoundly corrupt the Internal Investigations Unit Department of the King County Sheriff's Department really is. I'm sorry. Actually, I meant the entire King County Sheriff's Department. Overall, by proving it with the most damning evidence one could get. That's right, citizens of King County. If you are ever abused or treated poorly by the King County Sheriff's Department, rest assured, your complaints will go nowhere, and I have the receipts to prove it. Keep voting in your county commissioners, King County, if you want more abusive tyrants like the King County Sheriff's Department. Here's a few random samples of your King County Sheriff's Department at work, everyone. Well, that's good. While you're rotting away in jail, let's get you some drugs to make the time go by faster. by commissioned deputies, nonetheless. This is great. And hold on a moment. Let's not forget the really good one. Now that misconduct is down, as you can see, it seems that the King County Sheriff's Department has just transferred their wrathful vengeance from regular abuse to excessive force. Great job, King County Sheriff's Department. You're a shining example of tyranny and beatdowns, just like the doctor ordered. Now, let's dive into the evidence regarding my assertion of corruption at the King County Sheriff's Department. Let's jump into the audio evidence and documents that corroborate, irrefutably, the corruption of the King County Sheriff's Department Internal Investigations Unit. To begin with, let's look at the exoneration that shows the IIU did in fact find Gozelski not guilty of discourteous behavior, as can be seen here in the Sheriff's Department Memorandum. Allegation 1. GOM, Title 3, Chapter 0, Section 20, Subsection 1C, Performance Standards, performs at a level significantly below the standard achieved by others in the work unit. Exonerated. Allegation 2. GOM, Title 3, Chapter 0, Section 15, Subsection 2I, Rules of Conduct, Misconduct. Courtesy. Members shall conduct themselves in an orderly, courteous, and civil manner toward others. Exonerated. Now that we've evaluated that, let's revisit the behavior of Marshal Gozelski straight from the point that I was unlawfully trespassed from the prosecuting attorney's office for the County of King.
These fine deputies here do understand that one of the 5 enumerated liberties we have in the First Amendment is to petition our government to seek redress of grievances.
Yeah, but not you're going about it all wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny because when I looked at the petitioning to seek redress of grievances, it didn't say there was a prescribed manner.
Okay, well, this is the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, it's a public office.
Okay, not for what you're doing, it's not.
So are you telling me on recording that I cannot...
Yeah, if you don't have business here...
I have business.
And you're filming without her permission, then I'm asking you to leave.
Are you ordering me to leave?
Yeah, I'm telling you you're going to leave.
And if I don't, I'll get arrested?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get that declarant form? Oh, is it just from the office or the building?
Just from here. If you have business in the building, go about your business.
Okay. So I can be out in the hall?
As long as you're not interrupting.
I'm not I wasn't interrupting.
You're not filming people.
Oh, so you're saying I can't angle my camera that way? And if I do, I'll be arrested?
You're not going to be arrested. So you're not going to be arrested because you have the right to film in the public area.
Hold on a minute. What's going on here?
But the thing is, that's their office. There's a lot of private stuff going on.
Gotcha. So I can record from here that direction.
You can welcome, and
hold on a minute. So the marshal's saying I cannot record that direction. You're saying I can from here.
Not that direction.
Okay, so I have to turn my camera on.
So what are you trying to accomplish, sir?
I'm actually working on a story.
Okay.
I'm a journalist.
Okay.
One of the reasons I came here is because this summer past, I had an issue that a court martial secured, which was a prosecutor's assistant behaving very terribly. She doxed a victim on recording in a public space.
We are here because someone's baby died.
So I'm trying to seek redress of grievances with the prosecutor's office for that terrible behavior back then. And while I'm in there, that lady right there is telling me that I can't record my petitioning process. Ninth Circuit case law, Fordyce versus City of Seattle, as well as Washington state statutes say it's only a 2-person party consent state if you're in a place where you have an expectation of privacy. You do not have an expectation of privacy in a public space. That is a public space. That is a public official who has been elected by the people of King County. I absolutely, 100% can record video and audio. You guys, everything those private citizens
I don't have a problem with you recording.
Everything those private citizens are saying, the things through that window, if they don't like it, they can put up shades or something else. But you guys absolutely don't have a lawful authority to impede my ability as press to record video and audio.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is there's a bright red line, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. So, are you telling me I cannot aim my camera in that direction? Is that what you're saying, Deputy?
I'm saying I'd rather you not to because they feel uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah.
They have victims coming in and out of here, and they don't want to be.
So
in
there's
the
victims advocate. It's also a victims advocate.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, you're saying, you're asking you, Marshall, what is it? Gozelski?
Can't spell him. Gozelski.
Okay, it's just part of your badge is covering, or your lanyard. Gozelski, okay. So what Marshal Gozelski is saying is, I absolutely can't be in there recording, and I can't even aim my camera in that direction. You're saying the opposite. So who's right?
No, you're mincing words. That's not what he's saying.
Okay, so can I aim my camera in that direction and gather content for my news story?
No, you cannot.
Not with the victims talking there, because they need privacy as well.
Gotcha.
As a victim.
So you're saying I cannot do that. So if I aim that over that direction, that's a crime.
Asked and answered, sir.
What's the crime?
How many times are you going to ask it?
What's the crime?
How many times are you going to ask it? How many times are you going to ask it?
Tell me what the statute is.
Asked and answered.
What's the RCW? It's because you're making it up.
No, I'm not making anything up.
Look, this is settled in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. So judges. So you're saying a federal judge doesn't matter?
You've asked, I've answered.
You're getting way too big for your britches here, Gozelski.
This is a public building, yes. If you have business here, go about your business. You can't go in here and disrupt business.
I do this price. I'm not in there now.
Okay, well then go leave. Leave the area.
Are you telling me I need to leave from this area?
You can sit right in that chair right there and film all you want.
So you're saying I need to leave this area?
Right here, yeah.
Okay, am I being trespassed from right here?
No, I'm asking you to leave and go sit in the chair.
Asking or ordering?
Do you need a hearing aid?
No. There's a difference.
How many times? I just told you I'm asking you to leave.
Well, if you're asking me, you're not ordering me to leave, I'm going to politely decline your request. If it's not a request and you're issuing me a lawful order to leave this area.
Did you have a tough childhood growing up or something? Why are you acting like this?
You're being really unprofessional right now, Gozelski. You don't care. You don't care that you're being unprofessional. You know, the oath that you take is for everyone. It's not just for them in there. It's for me. It's for your coworker.
Do you have business in here?
I do.
And what is your business?
Petitioning my elected official to seek redress.
You do that through the courts, not through the main entrance in the prosecutor's office.
Is there somebody that can help you with that?
That's what I'm trying to find out, Deputy.
Okay.
So Gozelski, if you calm down, okay, you just chill out, relax, okay? You're getting really worked up here for no good reason.
You're done here.
Okay, well then.
If you don't have business in there, stay out.
I do have business, Gozelski. Do you need a hearing aid? How many times do I need to tell you? I have business. Petitioning your elected officials is every citizen's right. That's what I'm trying to do right now, man.
This is the main office for the prosecutor's office. We've told you.
That's why
there's victims coming in and out of here, and you're disrupting the regular flow of business.
How am I disrupting what I'm trying to petition, which is a lawfully protected act? I'm not
We're going to have to give the sergeant a call and see what he wants to do.
I would actually like a supervisor, please.
Well, he's not here.
Oh, what? Who's the sergeant then? Isn't he the supervisor?
He's not here.
You got a corporal? Lieutenant?
We don't have corporals.
Well, look, I'll just put it this way. I would actually like to speak to a supervisor. So
well, then call one. Call one.
Because why are you being such a pain right now? I'm asking for assistance from a public servant.
Have you looked in the mirror? Go look in the mirror when you refer to me being a pain.
You're a public servant. I'm not, Gozelski. That's the difference.
Okay, let's see what we can do to help you out with what you're trying to do.
You bet.
Because we want all parties to be happy. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what happens, right?
I don't blame you.
Okay, so what are you here to do, and is there somebody in there that can help you?
I don't know if there's someone in there.
Have you asked somebody there? Like,
multiple times.
What do you need to do to petition?
That's part of the question.
Okay.
So part of the issue was, and I already explained it to the lady that came out and talked to you guys that came out from that door right there. She took a part of a complaint. She didn't get the photo of the person. I still need to convey that to her. But she, in and of herself, was having some professional issues. I can petition that person.
You want to see what's going on over there, Clerk?
I didn't hear, what did they say?
Yeah, there's a duress alarm over the police station.
I'll talk.
Now that we've seen Marshal Gozelski for the unhinged lunatic that he is as a public employee, let's look at the fact-finding process of the Internal Investigation Unit working hard to ensure that their coworkers are never found guilty of anything.
And it's courtesy and performance standards, basically saying that you operate below the level of a marshal, similar to your experience. So those are the allegations that are being presented today. Stephen McSteven is alleging that while he was at the courthouse to file a complaint, you attempted to unlawfully trespass him from the property, and overall he described his interactions with you as unprofessional, dismissive, and rude.
He was there to cause trouble, and I was starting to let it get under my skin, and I shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, if you're going to continue to act like this in here, the prosecutors were concerned that they were bringing witnesses and victims in and out of there, and we talked about this later on, and Sarge said, well, from now on they can just take him in through the back door. Okay, that's all fine and well. But if that was the case, I said, you can't sit in here and video record, tape record these people. Go sit out in the hallway. So then, he started pushing buttons, and I bit. And I probably said some things that I shouldn't have, and I could probably take back if I could. Not as militaristic as this guy, but and most of the time, people, hey, it's okay to come in here and record, but you can't do it in a private setting. You can't do it in a courtroom, and most people get that, and they'll go, "Oh, okay, sorry."
And when you said that Mr. Stephen was militaristic, what do you mean by that?
Oh, the way he kept kind of poking his vocal taunts at me.
Okay.
The guy obviously knows how to provoke, and I guess I was having a bad week, and like I said, I let it get under my skin when normally it's like water off a duck's back to me.
Okay, so you weren't talking about like his appearance or anything like that. You're just talking about his demeanor being...
Yeah,
okay.
Basic demeanor.
Okay, and have you ever had any sort of roll calls or training prior to this incident about how to deal with people that are filming in these areas at the courthouse?
I don't think so.
One of the things she had mentioned is that she particularly didn't give consent to her being audio recorded. It sounded like she was okay with being video recorded. Do you remember anything about that conversation?
No, I don't remember. I just remember her being upset, and a lot of the people in that office were pretty upset about it.
Okay. Well, can you just explain to me what your understanding is of like the recording, the two-party recording?
Well, in a public place, yeah, he has that right.
Okay. And as it pertains to the lobby of the DV, it's the victim advocate office and just the prosecutor's office together, right?
Right.
Okay. So can you explain to me how it applies to that area that there was that argument over that day?
Well, he felt he had the right to be in there filming and videoing, and through discussion with Sergeant later on, it's yes, he did. Now, however, that's all changed. They don't allow that. They've got it posted up there on the wall.
Okay.
I think I can't remember because I haven't been there in a while. If it's no trespassing or no loitering or no video, something they've got in there. So problems like that are never going to happen up there again.
So you're saying because of this incident, they added more notice to the building now, but...
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and then you said you spoke to a sergeant, and then he had told you, like, hey, actually, he's allowed to do that.
Correct.
Okay. Did he go into detail about why? Like, what the threshold was or anything like that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's what we've already covered, and my whole thing was that, he was there to cause trouble.
Mm-hmm.
People there were being offended by him. Victims and witnesses were coming in and out of there. They didn't like getting filmed.
Okay.
So my thing was just to get him out in the hallway. I knew I was probably stretching to get him out of there. At least if I can get him out of there, he can sit in the hallway all he wants.
Did the prosecutor's office and them making this complaint have any more, I guess, weight in your decision making of thinking like, no, this guy can't record because they were complaining about it? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, these are like the legal experts and they're saying it's not okay. Did that have any bearing in your decision making there?
Well, I never really talked with any of them. I guess there was an awful lot of closed door sessions after this incident. He's not a good person, and I just wanted to get him out of there. And like I said, I drank the Kool-Aid, I bit the hook, and I probably said some things I shouldn't have to get him out of there.
Okay, so it sounds like now after this conversation you had with your sergeant is that you were mistaken on the telling him he couldn't record there. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and on that day, were you mistaken on your authority to trespass him?
Yes.
Okay. And after your sergeant talked to you, it became clear kind of why?
Yes, yes.
What's your understanding of courtesy?
My understanding is treating others like you'd like to be treated yourself.
Okay. And for this, do you feel like you acted the way you would act to everybody, or was this more of a different day and something just kind of kicked off?
No, I don't hardly ever act like that. Like I said, he just got under my skin, and that's what happened.
In kind of what ways did he get under your skin? What was it was it the camera? Was it the way he was talking to you? What made him different from, someone else?
Oh, just the way he was talking. Okay. And his little jabs he was throwing out there. His defiance and indignation, at me. And just the fact that he thought he could just come in and rule the roost and upset everybody's day just because it's legal for him to come in and do it.
Okay. And in your frustrations, you said some things that weren't professional. Is that kind of the gist I got earlier?
I'm sure I probably did.
Okay. And so overall, do you feel like your conversations and interactions with him were professional that day?
No, I could have done a lot better job.
Okay. And are you more clear now, today, on the recording, the two-party consent situation? Okay.
Yeah.
To kind of change subject, I'm a little more familiar with sheriff's office trainings that are available to sheriff's deputies. Do you have availability to take lead training, and have you taken that?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I've taken that.
Okay. Do you recall what it is?
Oh, not right off the top of my head. I can remember the acronyms. I take so much training, it's hard to remember all of this stuff.
Right.
But no, I get the gist of where you're going with it, yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, have you taken ABLE training?
That doesn't sound familiar. I may have. I can't tell you off the top of my head. I honestly can't tell you. I may have. I don't know.
Okay, that's all the questions I had.
Okay, Jarrett, on to you.
Hey, thanks. Was this guy wearing any sort of credentials noting that he was acting in some sort of, a press or reporter aspect?
Oh, yeah. He had something on, he had a card or something that said, it said something to do with press, or he inferred that he was a reporter.
He's like, what I did was unlawfully trespassing. That would be like you and me getting into a pushy shovey contest and then me saying, I did it.
Yeah, sure.
Right, it'd be like, well, yeah, Steve just admitted it. I mean, he literally said the words. It'd be hard to, disprove it at that point. So I'm trying to make sense how Captain Dre...
you mean Deary? Is it Deary?
Oh, is it Deary? I thought it was...
D-E-R-Y?
It very well may be... It is Deary. I thought it was
Okay,
correct.
no
Yeah,
worries.
transpose that. Yeah.
I figured that would be who.
So Captain Deary ended up saying there was insufficient evidence. I'm trying to understand how video evidence corroborated by the admission of the individual and the person who was a marshal standing directly with Marshal Gozelski and myself came to this conclusion.
What is the best way for someone to reach out to you to speak to you? Because I can go directly to Captain Deary and have him figure out who's the most appropriate person to reach out to you.
Sure.
So what would be the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me would just be to set up an appointment for me to come in person and talk with somebody.
Okay.
So if there's a way to maybe just figure out like what their calendar looks like for right now, maybe it's next month, maybe it's later this month.
Do you have a phone number so someone can reach out to you?
I'd really rather keep it off phone because I don't want to have any he said, she said stuff going on.
I just meant to schedule an appointment with you.
I've got an email.
Okay, that's even better.
It'd just be that one right there, Inland Auditing Media at Pro.
Do you mind if I take a photo?
Oh no. Oh, document.
This is my my work phone, so I'm just trying to, so that when I send something to Captain Deary, I can.
Nice. I'm glad to see you using your work set. So
yeah, right.
This is versus Pierce County. Was a rough lesson for the state.
Okay, so I'll reach out to Captain Deary,
cool. And
someone will reach out to you at that email address from the Internal Investigations Unit. I don't know if it'll be Captain Deary, if it'll be one of the detective sergeants. Okay. I truly don't know who it will be, but I promise someone will reach out to you. Okay.
Oh, that sounds good. Do you have a business card, chance?
I actually don't think I do, but I can give you whatever information you need.
Yep, I can just get name, badge number, and email address.
Yeah, so my name is Joshua Scott. Okay. I'm a sergeant with the King County Sheriff's Office. My badge number is 97346, and my email is joshua.scott@kingcounty.gov.
That's a long badge number. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably been a lot of sheriff's deputies working over time. Yeah. So, all right, sounds good. Thanks.
Sir, you needed the name of that person?
Yes, please.
It's Terry Johnson. This is my business card. I'm Sergeant Eric White with the Sheriff's Office.
Oh, great.
I'm the supervisor for court protection. I just supervise the marshals and the screeners.
Oh, I see.
This marshal told me you needed a name, so I'm bringing that to you. I see you talk to Sergeant Scott here.
Gotcha. So you supervise the marshals?
I supervise the marshals and the screeners at a different location, but their supervisor's out of town, so I'm filling in.
But keep him working as a marshal. That's the right kind of guy working for the public right there.
Okay.
Guy loves the Constitution probably more than the people that wrote it based on what he just did a moment ago. So,
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate that right there. That's exactly what I'd like to see. So thank you for that, by the way.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Excuse me.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Sergeant. Appreciate it. Thanks, Marshal. You too.
Okay.
Because we we're telling him that he actually. I told you to tell him that.
Yeah.
Did we give you an envelope?
No.
It says my name on it. Right. This is my address on the envelope.
Yes, sir.
We're going to mail the key seals.
Copy that. Ms. Johnson, I need to speak to your supervisor.
They're not here, I'll give them your phone number.
I'm not.
Your name, since you've got mine, I know.
Yeah, ma'am, that's called a fantasy novel writing session. In no universe will you ever get my name. You understand?
He's in a public space. I know. Yeah,
He's good. I'm going to block it out.
I know, I got no problem. What are you trying to do?
It's a Sergeant Johnson, right?
That was Sergeant White. The one that handed you the business card?
Yeah.
She is the lady you were dealing with.
Oh, that's right. That was her name. So is
his business card has got his name on it.
That's right underneath.
Sergeant White.
Dang it, I meant to ask him something because he is the supervisor, right?
Yeah, I can go get him.
Awesome, thank you.
I guess if I had to do this or something. Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right, talk to you later. Good luck.
Hey, Sergeant White, I just wanted to say, since, I mean, you are the supervisor, I'd like to file a complaint against Ms. Johnson. Her behavior is so abusive, not only against me, but against the marshal. The marshal went in there extremely polite, very professional, meeting all the standards of the King County Sheriff's Department, and she was abusive in her behavior towards him, abusive in her behavior towards me. She's completely lying, saying you can't be doing this. I'm actually here, just trying to follow up with IIU with some documents I received from them. I thought that was the side I was supposed to go to at first because it was open to the public.
They're not down here anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. And I mean, it was sort of a starting point, you know.
Okay.
When I went in there, that's when it all started. I mean, my intent wasn't to do anything other than just try to get a hold of someone at IIU. Now, I just spoke with that sergeant a moment ago. Scott, yeah. Spoke with him.
Terry? Can I get
He
you?
asked to speak to me, that's the reason I came
Can I
up.
get you just to wait back there?
I'm just gonna go back in my office.
I don't supervise her because that's part of the records unit that does the background and the fingerprinting. I see. That's a different unit. So these people that are doing the screening, the marshals, the screeners, that's who I supervise. But I can take your complaint. The only thing I would need is there a phone number you can give me?
I'll give you an email address.
Okay, and my email address.
You want me to just email you?
Hold on. My email address is right there.
Sure.
So what I'd like to do is be able to either talk to you on the phone, or if you want to give me a written complaint, I could do that. If you want IIU to do a tape statement from you, you can definitely do that. But I would want to offer you the ability to give a recorded statement. However, all my recording stuff is back in my office and in my car.
Well, you know what? I'll make it easier on you. What I'll do is, this is just a follow-up to a story that I had done earlier this year, and then one from last year from the Maling Regional Justice Center. So,
Mailing.
Oh, is it Mailing?
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. I thought it was Mailing. Thank you.
Mailing, yeah.
Mailing. Okay. So I went there working on some stories, and this is just really all just a follow-up kind of a thing that I'm doing here. So I'll just email you that. That way you guys will have the video showing what her behavior was. I mean, I think you can kind of see from her behavior there.
And then I could forward it to IIU, and then one of their investigators could follow.
So they investigate all King County Sheriff's employees?
We take all complaints for King County Sheriff's employees. Yes.
Fair enough. All right.
Both commissioned and non-commissioned.
Fair enough. Well, like I said, please put in a good word on that marshal that was helping me.
Go. You got to go that way, because if you push it, you jam it.
It's like I've never been here.
So just please accept that compliment though on that marshal, because boy,
Willie?
Yeah,
Okay.
He's a
All right,
really great marshal.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, you have a good day.
All right.
Take care.
Exit this way, please. The door's not
You take care, Marshal.
Hey, have a good day.
All right.
We'll see you.
Bye. Hello. I'm looking to submit a public records request.
Okay. I believe that would be at the clerk's office on the 6th floor. I also have a phone number for public disclosure that I can give you.
I cannot submit a public records request here. Why is that?
We just don't do that at the front desk here. That's up in the clerk's office.
The statute says you can do it in any office.
I don't have the ability to do that. I mean, you could ask.
Oh, I was just going to submit it verbally, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, part of this also needs to be, I think, a cooperation experience with the prosecuting attorney's office, because part of the request is I'm trying to ascertain the work schedule of an individual that I don't have the name of. So the first thing I need to do is sort of just, show the picture of the employee so I can try to ascertain who that is, and in so doing, request the work schedule and emails of that individual.
Is it a prosecutor?
No, it's some sort of an assistant, but like I said, she refused to identify, so now I'm kind of stuck in that situation of not knowing how to, get the information regarding that employee.
So I'm not allowed to give out employee information.
Okay, well, I understand your boss may have told you that, but I need to find someone that can, because I can't request public information when I don't know the name of the employee.
Okay. Are you filming?
Yes.
So we don't allow filming in our office.
It's a public office.
This is just the PAO policy.
Gotcha. You want to call the Marshals?
I mean, I don't want to. I can.
Probably better to do that.
Okay.
Better just kind of skip to 10 on that one and resolve it. I actually didn't realize this was a Constitution-free zone. That's kind of weird. Is this the North Korean consulate, or no? Still part of the United States? Just uncertain. I could be wrong. Sometimes one just accidentally wanders into the North Korean consulate. Who could tell? Well, like I said, I'd still like to finish that public records request, though. So in order to do that, I need some assistance from somebody. I understand it's not you. That's fair enough. But I do need some assistance from the prosecutor's office because they are the ones that know who the person is. And I would like to request that person's emails. So I can't do that if I say it's the person that did the thing that day over there. A little vague. Not completely, but a little vague.
So I can give you the public disclosure request number. That's what I have.
So you just can't help me getting a manager, supervisor, just no options for that?
Do you want a case number or anything? Let me see what I can do.
Thank you. Oh, looks like my day's about to end poorly. The Marshals are here.
Hello.
How's it going, Marshal?
Good, how are you?
Not too shabby. Trying to do a public records request, and she's saying I may have accidentally wandered into the North Korean consulate. So apparently the First Amendment isn't valid here.
Okay. So how can I help?
Well, I just told him that filming's not allowed at the PAO office. Just the code of conduct. That's just what I've been told. That's what's posted. And he asked me to call the Marshals. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she kind of wanted to escalate this. So I just wanted to make sure she understands that while I'm doing my public records request, which is lawful.
And I told him that I could give him the public disclosure number and that he could go upstairs to the clerk's office and ask me some great confrontation.
Yeah, and WAC 4414-03006 says I can do it in person and verbally. Ma'am, using my Washington state granted rights and my United States federal liberties is not confrontational. I understand it may be awkward that you've recently arrived here from North Korea and that you hate freedom, but the rest of us actually enjoy it. So, I'd actually like to complete my verbal public records request now.
And I can give you the public disclosure number, but I can't give out employee information.
Okay, well, look, that's not how it's done. RCW 425680 subsection 2 says you can do it at any office. I don't have to go to the clerk's office to do something for the prosecutor.
Okay, well, I can't provide that. And you also,
Well, and I understand, you may have a limitation, and that's fine, I understand that, but what I'm trying to get to is I'm trying to get assistance so that I can make the public records request. So even if I was going to go to the 6th floor to do that...
Do you not want the public disclosure number?
No, how am I going to show somebody a picture on the phone? I don't know if you've used those often, but they don't involve actually sending pictures unless you're text messaging. So that's why I need the assistance of one of the managers or supervisors so that I can actually know who I'm requesting the records of. Like I said, I wasn't even being sarcastic earlier. If I said I need to get the emails for a certain range of time for the person over there that one day that did the thing, probably going to be a little hard to figure that out. It's a little vague.
Okay, so do you have a name or?
Ma'am, I just told you at least 5 times. No, that's what I'm trying to get is the name of the employee so that I can request the records.
Do you know where they work or what they do?
Yeah, I know that they work for the prosecutor's office. She admitted that. It was at the Mailing Regional Justice Center when it happened. It was last year. She's blonde. She has glasses. I think she's a victim's advocate, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So all I'm trying to do is get the name of the employee so that I can then request the emails of that employee for a certain range of time. But without knowing what her name is, there's no way for me to do that.
I mean, I'm not too familiar with the employees of the MRJC, but I can give you the front desk number and you can try and see if they know.
Ma'am, you may have some wizardly magic available to you that I do not. I am not a wizard. So when I talk to somebody on the phone, I can't send them a picture using my mental powers. Professor X is from a movie, it's not real. So what I'm trying to tell you is I need to be able to show a picture of the employee and say, oh yes, that's Susie Anderson or whatever her name is, so that I can then request her emails. Is everything good here, Marshall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any way I can help at all?
No, it just seemed that she was concerned about the recording in a public space, but it sounds like it's all legal.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be okay for now?
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's no filming up here. It's supposed to be a safe space for victims who come in for help.
It's the elected prosecutor's front office.
I mean, the code of conduct is right there for you to read if you would like to. That's just what I know. I'm telling you what I know. We're looking for a supervisor for you right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if a supervisor can come out, that's great. Like I said, I understand you may not be able to help me because, like you said, you may not know all the employees out there. That's fair enough. But I do need someone to be able to lay eyes on that and be like, oh, yes, that's Susie. And then I can request the emails for her. But I've been trying to get this done for over a year, and I just can't get it done. So, yes, and they're refusing to provide her name so that I can request those records. So all I need to do is, like I said, just get her name so I can make a public records request. Okay, yeah. It is a little warm in here, so actually I am going to step out there a little because it's a little warm. So whenever that supervisor gets here, if you just let him know I'm out front, that'd be great. Thanks. Hey Marshall, thanks for scoring that away again. Okay. Do you guys just fly around on bald eagles, or how does that work?
No, we're assigning different posts.
You guys
if for free, then
you guys like freedom around here. That's good. That's good.
Try to. Yeah. But that's nothing I think.
All right, Marshall. Okay. Take care. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Menchaca.
Menchaca. Do you have a like a card or anything?
Not on me right now.
Fair enough. All right, man. Take care.
Oh, you want to talk to the supervisor?
Yeah, I am just trying to get some information so I can facilitate. I'm good here.
All right.
So I'm just trying to get some information so I can facilitate a public records request. I've been trying to make this for well over a year now, and your office keeps obfuscating, so you're in effect preventing me from making a public records request. So all I need to do is get the name of this employee who refused to identify so I can request her emails. And that is the person. She said she works for the prosecutor's office at the MJRC. That's what I need. Can you find that out? I can't make a records request if it's for information, sir.
All right, let me go get my glasses. I think this is what you need to fill out.
Sir?
Okay, I'll be right back.
Why are you doing this?
What?
Why are you doing this? You're doing what your office has been doing for well over a year. If you read the Public Records Act, you'd know. They can only respond to a request for records if it is for identifiable information. If I submit a public records request again, you're going to do what you guys did last time. You're going to say you're asking for information, not records. It's how it's worded in the Public Records Act. So what I'm trying to do is get her name so I can then request her emails for a certain week of time.
Okay.
So how do I do that? It's not through that because you guys have already denied providing information through that, which is why I'm now coming to my elected employee's office to try to get that information.
Okay. I just need to get my reading glasses because I can't read this and I'm not familiar with it. So,
all right.
Is it okay if I go get my reading glasses?
Yes, I just want to make sure
with the process.
Sorry, what?
Can I get my glasses so I can read? And
yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to make sure we're not beating a dead horse here because I've been trying to get this information so I can submit a request for over a year. I think that's a little too long.
Yeah.
All right, what'd you find out?
It's a lunch hour. Christy Johnson is our public disclosure individual. I don't know if you've received this yet. She's at lunch right now. I just know that I personally, the front desk ladies personally cannot just give out employee information. It's not our job to do that.
What's your name?
I'm not going to give you that.
So it's not your policy to provide. So how would I request your emails then?
This is our public disclosure
I
unit.
can't request your emails if I say I need that employee's emails.
You can ask for the supervisor's information for the front desk, and they know who that is.
I need your emails. How do I request your emails if I don't know your name? See, you guys are doing this. You've been doing this for over a year now. And I see the wry smile. I get it. You guys are upset with the media. You don't like the press. I get it. You guys get caught doing things you shouldn't be doing, and it's uncomfortable. And so then you try to smite the media by effectively committing bad acts regarding the Public Records Act. I can't request these things if I don't have your name. You know what you're doing right now. So you're going to persist in not identifying yourself as a public employee?
That is my preference, regardless of my position in this office.
Are you a public employee?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. You're not acting in accordance with a policy, you're just acting in accordance with your own preference.
Yes.
So even if a policy did say you must identify, you would still not identify?
No, I would identify if that's our policy to do that.
Gotcha. Tell you what, we'll make this better. Since you know who you are, I'm submitting to you right now as a public employee all of your emails for the last 2 weeks. I'm submitting it to you verbally, and I'm submitting it to you in person in accordance with 4414-03006. It's the WAC, okay? The model rules.
Okay.
And I need your name, your work phone number, your work email address, and all those emails for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll let Christy Johnson know, and she'll be giving you that information.
So you are going to submit that?
I'm not filling this out, but I'll let her.
You're not going to submit it to her?
I will let her know verbally.
What the request was?
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then I also need to ensure that
And who do I give that to?
Yeah, it's. I'm happy to give you my email address. It's anonymouscitizenwa@protonmail.com.
Okay. Just a second. I didn't bring a pen.
Wow, guys, this is the prosecutor, Lisa Mannion, actually pushing for this behavior here. It's incredible. I'm good. I already submitted it to you. If you want to write it down, that's fine. Do you remember it?
Hopefully I'll remember it.
You sounds like you're really skilled at the PRA, man. Good luck with that. Whoa, this place is crazy. That's the prosecutor right there. Oh, by the way, sorry, can I get that employee's name that you were responding to upstairs? Kind of like the other marshal did?
Yeah, let me see if I can, if you want to hang tight real quick.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
There you go.
Kennedy El Haj. All right.
All right.
Appreciate it.
That was easier.
Okay, thanks, man. Have a good day. All right, so what you all saw there in the King County Courthouse was just unbridled insanity there, with many of the employees losing their minds over, remember, the press going in, working on a follow-up story, and getting called out for it. So there's going to be an internal investigation, an IIU investigation regarding that lady, Terry Johnson. The law enforcement in there was great. So there was the black guy, Sergeant White, Marshal Bergen, Marshal Menchaca. When they were attempting to abridge my liberties to simply record my public records request process, which is a part of this story, at the prosecuting attorney's office, they were corrected, fortunately, by the marshals. So, I mean, I do not know what's going on here. This is typical craziness in King County. They absolutely hate transparency here. They'll say, oh, hey, we always respond to the public records requests. Yeah, on your terms, in the modality that you choose. And it's just abridging people's liberties. It's rude. It's unprofessional. It just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyways, got that kind of squared away. I just meant to go over those records initially, which is the ironic thing here, and really couldn't get that done, so I'm hoping to get an email from somebody from IIU so I can get an explanation as to how these decisions were made from the IIU. I mean, in light of all the evidence, it's crazy, but that's all we can do for now. So I'm going to head on to the next location. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that all notifications bell so you can get my stories right when they release. You can follow me on X at I.A.M. On Facebook at Inland Auditing Media. And if you want to help keep my feet on the streets, you know what to do. You can go to the links in the description for Cash App and Venmo. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
All right, this is Sergeant Jasmine Martin. Today's date is April 10th, 2024. The time now is 12:03 p.m. This statement is in reference to IIU file number 2024-017. This is an interview of Marshal George Gozelski. For the record, can you identify yourself by stating and spelling your name?
I'm George Gozelski. Name spelling is Gozelski.
And do you understand that this is a minor investigation?
Yes.
Present during this interview, it's going to be remotely via Teams. There will be no video recording. It'll be George Gozelski, the member, Jared Carsetter, attorney, Richard Powell with OLEO, and myself, obviously, with IIU. George, are you aware that the statement is being recorded, and do I have your permission to do so?
Sure.
Richard, same questions?
Yes and yes.
And Jared, same questions?
Yep.
Okay, back to you, George. Have you received an electronic notification of this complaint on an A150?
Yeah.
And do you understand the allegations that have been made against you?
I read it a while back, and it's been postponed so many times. I'm not sure. I mean, he was calling for my head on a platter, I know, at one point in time. But so I guess I don't really remember what his initial complaint was.
And it's courtesy and performance standards, basically saying that you operate below the level of a marshal, similar to your experience. So those are the allegations that are being presented today.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and you do understand those allegations then, what courtesy and performance standards is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right, when you were served that A150, two things should have been attached with it. Your copy of your police officer bill of rights and then a Garrity admonishment. Did you get both of those items?
Yes.
And do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about those documents or your rights as they are outlined?
No.
Other than a labor rep or an attorney, have you spoken to anyone regarding this matter since being served the A150?
No.
All right. At the authority of the sheriff, you're ordered to truthfully answer the questions put to you. Failure to cooperate in this investigation could result in discipline up to and including employment termination. So, background on this. Stephen McSteven is alleging that while he was at the courthouse to file a complaint, you attempted to unlawfully trespass him from the property, and overall he described his interactions with you as unprofessional, dismissive, and rude. If found to be true, this can be a violation of courtesy and performance standards, performs at a level significantly below the standard achieved by others in the work unit. So before we get into the actual incident, can you just start off and give us an overview of your time at the Marshals office and then also any law enforcement experience that you have?
Oh, well, my time here, let me see, I think I'm coming up on 10 years. I started here at the RJC, went to juvie, and then came back here. Prior to working here, I worked 5 years in a similar position for the U.S. Marshals downtown Seattle, and prior to that, I worked for the Juneau Police Department, Juneau, Alaska, for almost 21 years.
Okay. So the majority of your law enforcement experience has been in Alaska, and then you did a little bit of federal time with the U.S. Marshals, and then the last 10 years or so, you've been in Washington State operating as a marshal for juvie and for like RJC and the main courthouse. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Can you just explain what happened with Mr. Stephen recording in the courthouse and how you even knew all this stuff was happening that day?
Well, as I recall, we received a complaint from the DA's office about a person that was sitting in their office that refused to leave, and he was filming people coming in and out of the office. And everybody, they were all in a tizzy over that. So I went up there. I think it was Marshal Soka, or I can't remember who went with me. I think it was Soka San.
Okay.
And so I walked in and confronted him, and the long and short of it was, from my memory, is that he was pretty much there. He was there to cause trouble, and I was starting to let it get under my skin, and I shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, if you're going to continue to act like this in here, the prosecutors were concerned that they were bringing witnesses and victims in and out of there, and we talked about this later on, and Sarge said, well, from now on they can just take him in through the back door. Okay, that's all fine and well. But if that was the case, I said, you can't sit in here and video record, tape record these people. Go sit out in the hallway. So then, he started pushing buttons, and I bit. And yeah, I probably said some things that I shouldn't have, and I could probably take back if I could.
Mm-hmm.
So I left. I had to go. I forget what call I had to go to next. I had to go into a courtroom for whatever. So after that, I think Soka San and one other marshal dealt with him. So after that, every day he's coming in here and he's deliberately trying to harass me. I got I don't know how many phone calls and emails from him and his followers.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't answer to any of his calls and I just passed on his all those emails to my lead marshal, and I just let it all lie. And eventually he stopped coming by here and stopped harassing and getting all these harassing emails and so on and so forth. But it was to me, his whole intent was to come in here and do what he accomplished. To get something to put on YouTube, and I feel like a fool for biting that baited hook.
Okay. So you said he's been in there a couple times, but this is the first time that you had saw him.
Correct.
Okay. Has anyone else seen him go to the courthouse prior to that you knew of? Like, hey, this guy's been here before, or?
I don't know about here. Or other officers. I've heard that he's been in other courthouses.
Okay.
And after that first incident, everybody did a little check-in on him and said, oh yeah, he's been here, and he does all this, and then he posts stuff on YouTube. So okay, well that's all news to me.
Okay.
Apparently apparently that's what this guy does.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I guess I boosted his followers by quite a bit, or so I'm told. But yeah, I kind of have forgotten all about him, and he hasn't been back here since.
Okay.
Or to any of the other courthouses, to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Have you had issues in the past of people coming into the courthouse and recording? Kind of the same manner he was doing?
Yeah, but they were a whole lot more passive about it. I would say not as militaristic as this guy, but and most of the time people, hey, it's okay to come in here and record, but you can't do it in a private setting. You can't do it in a courtroom, and most people get that, and they'll go, oh, okay, sorry. But I can't recall the last one. I guess when you go into a courtroom, the judges are pretty good about laying down the law, so to speak, on recording, official proceedings. So in that regard, we haven't had to deal with that too much at all.
Okay, and when you said that Mr. Stephen was militaristic, what do you mean by that?
Oh, the way he kept kind of poking his vocal taunts at me.
Okay.
I mean, the guy obviously knows how to provoke, and I guess I was having a bad week, and like I said, I let it get under my skin when normally it's like water off a duck's back to me.
Okay, so you weren't talking about like his appearance or anything like that. You're just talking about his demeanor being.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic demeanor.
Okay, and have you ever had any sort of roll calls or training prior to this incident about how to deal with people that are filming in these areas at the courthouse?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't recall. There's been so much training, over the years that I don't recall. No.
Okay, and I understand that you're in Alaska. You did all your law enforcement experience in Alaska. Is the laws kind of different there when it comes to two-party recordings and stuff like that?
It's very similar.
Okay.
But like I said, it's been years since I've been there, so
Right.
I don't know what's changed since then.
Right. Okay. And as a marshal, do you get legal updates or any sort of training like that where you're supposed to be keeping up with certain statutes or anything? You don't necessarily get that.
Oh, yeah, we get that stuff periodically.
Okay. And you're not mandated though to sign off on it and say that you viewed it, or you have a certain period of your day to look at that.
Well, when we get those training things, they're all coming in now on the NeoGov thing.
Right.
They used to be right on our homepage.
Right.
But no, we go in there and I think we have to sign off on that.
Okay. And then I know you're talking about the NeoGov training, and some of it's mandatory and then some of it's not mandatory. So when it comes to the mandatory training, though, as far as you recall, you haven't had any training specifically dealing with people recording in certain areas.
I can't say for sure. I don't remember that we have had that.
Mm-hmm.
We could have, but I can't remember that.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure, because again, I don't get the same training as you. I really don't know the ins and outs of being a marshal. Is a totally different world over there. So some of this is just an education on my part for sure. So let's go to the incident. Have you seen the YouTube video?
Nope, I refuse to watch it. I told my sisters about it.
Okay.
And that's also, so I just sent my sister the link, and they had a lot of expletive deletives to say to that guy. Of course, I'm their brother, they're going to look out for me.
Right.
But no, I personally, I wasn't going to lower it and watch it and give him any kind of satisfaction.
Okay. I was just asking because some of my questions are from the video that we watched, and the video obviously is edited, which he has a right to do so. So some of it is maybe there may be context missing in here or something like that. So I was going to ask you questions about, hey, if you did see the video, was there anything that glaringly, happened that wasn't in the video? But since you didn't watch it, we'll move on from there. On the video, though, it shows that when you get into the lobby there, you're talking to a woman. Do you know who that woman was, or do you remember her name?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think she works in the prosecutor's office, if memory serves me correctly.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know most people by name here, just by face. But if memory serves me correctly, she might have been the one that called us up there.
Okay.
She was having a problem with this guy. But no, I don't know her name.
Okay, that's fine. One of the things she had mentioned is that she particularly didn't give consent to her being audio recorded. It sounded like she was okay with being video recorded. Do you remember anything about that conversation?
No, I don't remember. I just remember her being upset, and a lot of the people in that office were pretty upset about it.
Okay. Well, can you just explain to me what your understanding is of like the recording, the two-party recording?
Well, in a public place, yeah, he has that right.
Okay. And as it pertains to the lobby of the DV, is it it's the victim advocate office and just the prosecutor's office together, right?
Right.
Okay. So can you explain to me how it applies to that area that there was that argument over that day?
Well, he felt he had the right to be in there filming and videoing, and through discussion with Sergeant later on, it's yes, he did. Now, however, that's all changed. They don't allow that. They've got it posted up there on the wall.
Okay.
I think I can't remember because I haven't been there in a while. If it's no trespassing or no loitering or no video, something they've got in there. So problems like that are never going to happen up there again.
So you're saying because of this incident, they added more notice to the building now, but...
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and then you said you spoke to a sergeant, and then he had told you, like, hey, actually, he's allowed to do that.
Correct.
Okay. Did he go into detail about why? Like, what the threshold was or anything like that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's what we've already covered, and my whole thing was that, he was there to cause trouble.
Mm-hmm.
People there were being offended by him. Victims and witnesses were coming in and out of there. They didn't like getting filmed.
Okay.
So my thing was just to get him out in the hallway. I knew I was probably stretching to get him out of there. At least if I can get him out of there, he can sit in the hallway all he wants. And so I can't remember if a few minutes after that I had to go answer another call, and then like I said, some of the other marshals dealt with him, and I don't know what he did after that. I think he left. He did. He left the building.
Okay. Did your conversation, I know that you didn't necessarily remember too much of your conversation with the prosecutor, but did the prosecutor's office and them making this complaint have any more, I guess, weight in your decision making of thinking like, no, this guy can't record because they were complaining about it? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, these are like the legal experts and they're saying it's not okay. Did that have any bearing in your decision making there?
Well, I never really talked with any of them. I guess there was an awful lot of closed door sessions after this incident, which led to this new, this new thing going into their office.
Okay.
A lot of that I wasn't privy to, and some of them have talked to me while I'm working up at the main post, thanking me, and it's like, well, okay. It's just one of them things where this guy was there to cause trouble. He was making everybody uncomfortable. He's not a good person, and I just wanted to get him out of there. And like I said, I drank the Kool-Aid, I bit the hook, and I probably said some things I shouldn't have to get him out of there.
Okay, so it sounds like now after this conversation you had with your sergeant is that you were mistaken on the telling him he couldn't record there. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then on the lines of you trespassing him, is your opinion still the same or is that different now? Either way, just explain to us a little bit.
Well, if he goes in there now and refuses to leave, he will be trespassed.
Okay.
But he can sit out in the hallway or, all the public places that he wants to in this building and do what he wants.
Okay. And on that day, were you mistaken on your authority to trespass him?
Yes.
Okay. And after your sergeant talked to you, it became clear kind of why?
Yes, okay. Yes.
Have you had issues in the past with people bothering the victims that come into that office?
Yeah, on occasion. I've witnessed a couple over the years. It's not like it's a weekly or monthly occurrence.
Okay. And in the video, you had mentioned, obviously the victims coming through this office and how the filming was an issue. Can you just explain a little bit of why that behavior could be intimidating to a victim?
and then there's somebody that they don't know that's this video and audio taping them, and they're, you know, they're going in and they're not wanting to talk to the prosecutors. They're starting to feel scared, like what's going on out there with this guy. So from their standpoint, you know, one can certainly see their concern. But yeah, until that they put those no loitering or no trespassing signs up there, you know, I see that, you know, he unfortunately he had the right to sit in there and do that to those people.
Okay, and I know that there was a bunch of employees that were uncomfortable being recorded. Do you know if there were any victims that were actually there that felt uncomfortable, or any reports of that?
I was told of this by the employees. I didn't actually talk to any victims or witnesses that had come in and out of there. Basically, they just told me that, you know, they were bringing witnesses and victims through there while he was sitting there recording.
Okay. And is that, like, when they say that, do they mean like there is actually victims coming through, or there's a potential of victims coming through there?
Good question. I took it as they were bringing victims and witnesses in and out of there. I didn't think that, you know, it was hypothetical or yeah, we're going to have some victims or witnesses coming in a little while. I took it to be that they were actively coming in and out of there.
Okay, all I need is what you believe. That works for me. Okay, and then at one point, he had mentioned about he wanted to file some sort of complaint. Do you remember that complaint thing he brought up at all?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, I said he wanted to like file a petition through the courts. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, actually, hold on a minute. Well, he wanted to talk to a prosecutor about some prosecutorial wrongdoing.
Okay.
And when we found out the prosecutor works downtown, not even here at the RJC.
Okay.
So I was kind of at a loss. Well, what are you here for, filing a complaint on somebody that doesn't even work here? But yeah, now I remember him saying something. He wanted to file a complaint on one of the prosecutors, and I don't remember much more than that.
Is that a common thing to happen? Citizens asking to file complaints on prosecutors?
No. I think that I've only heard that a couple of times.
Okay, and what's the proper way to do that for them?
Well, it's like anything else. You probably need to, you know, go through the proper channels and chains.
Okay.
Probably schedule a meeting with you know, with the senior prosecutor and file a complaint through his office or the courts.
Okay, and did you feel like you explained that process to him thoroughly, if that's what he had said he wanted to do that day?
I remember, yeah. Well, myself and Marshal Sand explained to him, and it's like he wouldn't hear of it. He just wouldn't listen.
Okay. All right. I know a couple of times you said that like you drank the Kool-Aid or something with him trying to bait you. So we can go right into the courtesy portion of this. What's your understanding of courtesy?
Well, my understanding is treating others like you'd like to be treated yourself.
Okay. And for this, do you feel like you acted the way you would act to everybody, or was this more of a different day and something just kind of kicked off?
No, I don't hardly ever act like that. Like I said, he just got under my skin, and that's what happened.
And kind of what ways did he like get under your skin? What was it was it the camera? Was it the way he was talking to you? What made him different from, you know, someone else?
Oh, just the way he was talking.
Okay.
You know, and his little jabs he was throwing out there. You know, his defiance and indignation. You know, at me. And just the fact that he thought he could just come in and rule the roost and upset everybody's day just because it's legal for him to come in and do it.
Okay. And in your frustrations, you said some things that weren't professional. Is that kind of the gist I got earlier?
I'm sure I probably did.
Okay. And do you know anything about the, like, auditing the police, like those kind of people that constantly go around filming? You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's tons of YouTube videos. Did that have any play into how you reacted to him? Did that kind of bring anything of that? I'm just curious on that one. Because it's a guy with a camera.
No, I mean, we see guys with a camera all the time, but
Okay.
he comes in with a ball cap, his handkerchief, his sunglasses. He's being secretive.
Okay.
I guess that was probably freaking a lot of people out in and of itself. You know, who is this stranger video and audio taping all these people? So, you know, that was probably my main concern was, you know, who are you and why are you in here doing this? Why are you making all these people scared and frightened about, you know, what you may or may not be doing this for?
Okay. And so overall, do you feel like your conversations and interactions with him were professional that day?
No, I could have done a lot better job.
Okay. And are you more clear now today on, like, the recording, the two-party consent situation? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Richard, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Just a couple questions. So I think the exact wording that he used when he came in was redress of grievances. Does that sound familiar? He had gone into the prosecutor's office to seek a redress of grievances.
I don't really remember that. Like I said before, what I remember him saying was that I thought I remembered him saying he wanted to file a grievance or a complaint against a prosecutor. And then we later found out that it was a prosecutor not even from here.
Mm-hmm. I think that's more or less his way of saying that he was seeking to file a complaint.
Okay.
And so you said that you had spoken with him about the proper way to do that?
Yeah, we told him that he needed to go downtown for one, and talk to somebody that was more in charge down there if he had an egregious complaint, and it's like he was indignant and defiant and said, no, he's going to stand here and wait and talk to somebody. And I said, well, it makes no sense if the person, that you want to complain about doesn't even work here. It is, however, a superior court, but there was, in my opinion, and people I've talked to after that, there was nobody there that was going to talk to him anyway. So we portrayed that to him, and shortly after that is when I had to leave, so I don't know what was discussed after I left. And I recall I had to go up on post about an hour after that, so that's when I saw him leave the building. And he's filming and videoing and talking, all his way out. And he kept coming back for, what was it? Probably every other day for a week or so, and then it just lost steam, and he stopped coming back and stopped doing all his YouTube posting and all his harassing emails and phone calls to me.
Okay, and has anybody come into that prosecutor's office to file a complaint before that you're aware of?
You mean regarding prosecutorial misconduct or just a complaint in general?
Any generalized complaint against the prosecutor's office?
I have no idea. I'm sure it may be in the past, but I have no personal knowledge of that.
Okay, so you're not sure if they handle any complaints there?
No.
Okay. And then to kind of change subject, I'm a little more familiar with sheriff's office trainings that are available to, sheriff's deputies. Do you have availability to take lead training, and have you taken that?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think I've taken that.
Okay. Do you recall what it is?
Oh, not right off the top of my head. I can remember the acronyms. I take so much training, it's hard to remember all of this stuff.
Right.
But no, I get the gist of where you're going with it. Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, have you taken ABLE training?
That doesn't sound familiar. I may have. I can't tell you off the top of my head. I honestly can't tell you. I may have. I don't know.
Okay, that's all the questions I had.
Okay, Jarrett, on to you.
Hey, thanks. Was this guy wearing any sort of credentials noting that he was acting in some sort of, press or reporter aspect?
Oh, yeah. He had something on, he had a card or something that said, it said something to do with press, or he inferred that he was a reporter and that he had it was his legal right to come in as a reporter and he can film and do whatever he wants. Well, I think he was he was informed by somebody that he was not, in fact, a bona fide reporter. And then, like I said, shortly after that is when I left and I had to go deal with something else.
Gotcha. And you're familiar with what the mainstream reporters wear and carry with them, right?
Correct. Yeah, they come in here, on a regular basis, especially when there's a high-profile sentencing or hearing or something like that. So yeah.
Okay. And I think there were 2 female prosecutorial staff that were there. They initiated the statements that it's illegal to record in there. Is that correct?
I don't know what they said. They probably did say that. I know after that, that incident set the ball in motion to where it is now illegal to do that in the lobby of their office.
Okay, and I viewed the video a couple of times, and it's my opinion that he knew what triggers to hit with you and hit them. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And I've dealt with hundreds of people like that before. But this guy here, I was having a bad day, and he like I said, he got under my skin, and I fell for it.
Now, I guess to wrap this up, what have you learned from this incident?
Probably not to get as adversarial with him. He's one of those guys that he's probably very narcissistic. You couldn't reason with him. You couldn't hardly do anything with him, but I would have just exuded a bit more patience and just let him talk until he talked himself out. And hopefully I would have been able to talk him out of there. Get him to at least go sit out in the hallway instead of going into the actual entry to the prosecutor's office.
And have you had any formal training? You might have been asked this, so I apologize if it's redundant, but have you had any sort of training on what the two-party consent law is in this state?
I'm sure we have. I can't really remember. Again, in a year's time, we go through so much training. Most of it's online. I very well could have, but I can't remember.
Okay. That's all I've got, Sarge.
I got one last one for you, just to go off of that. So, because we're talking about the law a lot. As a marshal, are you often applying the law in the same way as you did when you were out on patrol in Alaska? Like, oh, I got to think of the laws of DV right now. I got to arrest this guy. do you do that same sort of thinking when you're a marshal, or do you have, responsibilities that are a little bit outside the realm of law enforcement?
Well, probably not, because you don't, you're not in and out of situations like when you were in patrol. You're not running from accidents to burglaries to domestics. It's a more even-keeled environment here. This place pretty much runs itself. I mean, we're only here in case we're going to be needed, in case something goes bad. It's not like, a police station where people are coming in and making complaints in general. So, I don't really think in the future regarding what might happen. I guess every now and again I do regarding like an active shooter,
right,
where somebody comes in with a gun. I don't think about people like this guy. I don't even remember his name, but
okay.
Because it happens so infrequently, you don't really, there's nothing to prepare for.
Right, because I understand you guys have limited jurisdiction. You're kind of there for that doomsday thing you just described, really. What does a day-to-day marshal look like? What are you doing in and out?
Well, here at the Regional Justice Center, we work 1-hour shifts at the main entrance. That's called the post.
Okay.
We rove the building, poke our heads into courtrooms, go down for arraignments downstairs, and we probably, not so much after COVID, but pre-COVID, we were real busy going into courtrooms and arresting people on remands and warrants, taking them across to the jail. And basically anything that's going to go on inside the courthouse, we're basically the police of the courthouse. When we walk outside, that's the end of our jurisdiction, and I actually like that because I don't want to do that anymore. So yeah, anything that's going to involve us. It could be anything from peacekeeping. You might get some disgruntled. This is what we get quite a bit. We get disgruntled parties after a sentencing. That happens quite a bit, where the victim's family is mad at the judge for giving such a lenient sentence for their loved one that gets killed. So things start when both parties get out of the courtroom in the hall. You gotta move everybody aside. That's probably the biggest thing we do.
Okay, so you're
that really involves us.
Okay, so you don't really get into the weeds a lot with like civil matters and stuff like that. Like, you're not really taking a ton of like someone comes in with a very long, complicated, criminal story or something like that. You would refer that to someone else, or would a marshal, take a report or something?
No, we refer that to the Kent Police Department, and it will probably serve some TROs in the courthouse if both parties are there, and draw a DNA sample.
Okay.
Court order DNA.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just a toned down version of what a deputy's going to do out on the road, because we're not on the road.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Is there anything further you want to add that maybe we didn't touch on?
I don't think so.
All right, and is there anyone else you feel like I need to talk to about this matter?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if you've talked with anybody from the prosecutor's office, but I can't even, to tell you the truth, I can't even remember who came out or who I talked to that day.
Okay. All right. Well, just remember that you're still under A150, so don't discuss this with anyone other than your attorney there. So I want to go ahead and conclude the interview.
Sarge,
yes, sir.
I'd like to make a couple
Go
statements
for it. Sorry about
for
that.
the record. In reference to your last question,
okay.
To George, I suggest that you might want to speak with Lisa Mannion, the prosecutor, and Under Sheriff Jesse Anderson. When this incident was brought to my attention and I viewed the video, I saw it as a training issue. So I sent an email to Lisa, who I know personally, to give me a call, and to Under Sheriff Anderson to give me a call. I spoke with both of them, and both of them agreed that it sounds like it's more of a training issue than it is a deliberate misconduct, and agree with George that this purported reporter knew what button buttons to push and probably enjoyed what he was doing to George and to the two females because they were both distraught. So I'd urge you to maybe talk to Under Sheriff Anderson because he and I had a lengthy discussion about this immediately following it.
Okay, and part of these two, I'm not the one who actually does your findings, but they do consider stuff like that. If they see like, hey, this may be a training gap issue or something like that, that's for levels above me on that situation. So they always consider that with any one of these sort of cases, because that could be one of your resolutions is performance-related training. I'm not saying you're doing that because I'm just the fact finder, but that is an option if they see that training is more the issue here. Okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and conclude the interview at 12:42 p.m.